Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we've got this lovely 2013 Range Rover Evoque and we're going to be looking at the Haldex. The Haldex is part of the rear differential at the rear of the car. These and the Freelander 2 have the same unit. I think there's 3 different types of them and you need to service them. Now a lot of places don't look at the Haldex and you have to literally ask them to do it. What happens is, because the lack of servicing, the oil pump gets clogged up, therefore the oil's not lubricating the bearings. So they are a really expensive unit to replace or repair. Either way, you're looking at a lot of money. So to prevent this happening, we're going to service the Haldex on this one because there's no paperwork, no history with the Haldex. Everything else has, the engine's got full service history. The gearbox oil we've just done. The diff oil, again, we had no history with the diff oil, so we're going to change that. I've had a few questions about the Haldex, so let's get inside the workshop, let's get it on the ramp, and let's have a look. So as you can see, I've now got the Haldex draining the oil. I'll just quickly run through you what is needed to actually do this one. So some models have a collar around the prop shaft, and that's to help prop shaft balance basically, but it gets in the way. So on some of them it doesn't have the collar, so it's literally just a case to take the pump out, drain the oil, and then take the filter out. On this particular one, you've got to drop the exhaust slightly, drop the prop shaft off, so completely take the prop shaft off, make sure you mark it as well. Then you've got to... Unfortunately disturbed by the phone and then totally forgot to finish this part of the video off. So if your model has got the collar, you need to remove
the input flange, which involves taking the prop shaft off and dropping the diff down, etc. If it doesn't have the collar, you can get the pump out quite easily. Now, again, on this one, the oil filter was seized in solid, the little plastic bung that goes in the end. It's obviously not been done in a long time, and I had to really faff about and pierce it to pull it out. Again, a lot more room once the impact flange is off, so it's not all bad news. You can get in a lot easier, and again, you can get in a lot easier to clean it. So let's go over to the bench now, and I'll show you how to clean the pump out.
Right, here we have the pump. So the pump has a little filter on the end, so we're going to remove that. As you can see, it's not bad actually. I expected this to be a lot worse. I initially thought this had been done before, but after the struggle I had getting the filter out, no way, this has never been changed before. I'll show you inside the diff in a minute as well, because that's cluttered up. So the filter's not actually too bad. I expected it to be a lot worse than that. But you can see the build-up of corrosion behind. So everything now is going to get a really good clean before we fit our new filter kit and then put our new oil in. So new filter kit. With the filter you get a new cap and new screws. So I'm going to put this in first and then we'll reinstall the pump. Right, that's all the pump back in and the oil filter. I've just put the flange back on as well. So now we can put the prop shaft back on, bolt up the diff, put everything back together, and then we're going to fill it with oil. Right, that's everything built up on the Haldex unit now. I've just taken the level bung out, which is this little 13mm here. Now, it is special fluid for the Haldex units. The wind's just picked up suddenly and blowing everything everywhere. So what you do, you don't just fill it up to the level. So these come in little tubes like this, so it's really good for gaining access. Fill it up to the level, put your bung in, turn the ignition on for 5 minutes. And once that 5 minutes or so, it doesn't have to be exactly 5 minutes, just 5-6 minutes, something like that. Turn the ignition off, obviously let it settle down a bit, fill it up to the level, and then suck 70 millilitres back out. It seems silly, but that's what Land Rover say, so that's what I do. So I'll just cut the top off this now and fill it up. Right, so second tube, probably get about half of this one in before it starts to overflow, and we'll have to let it settle down. Right, so the car's just been running for 5 minutes. I'm now going to fill Haldex back up and then remove 78 millilitres. So this is my extraction tool. As you can see, the pipe's a big long pipe that goes in. That is 50 millilitres from the start to finish. So 50, once that pipe is full, basically, a couple of seconds, that's it, 70 millilitres of oil. So that's the correct way of doing it. A lot of people just put a tube and a half in, and you've near enough got the same amount of oil quantity. So I'll just take 70 millilitres out now, and we'll get this sorted. There we go. Right, 70 millilitres fills that length of pipe. And that's it, that's all done. Just fit the level bung back in. So I've just off camera just changed the diff oil. That's really easy if you've got an extraction tool like mine. You literally just take this little 13mm bung out, suck as much oil out as you can, and then refill back to the level, put the bung back in, and that's the diff oil done. So we've just been through the Haldex, how to service it. On this particular one, as I said earlier on this particular one, it has the collar around the prop shaft, so the full prop shaft's got to come off, and the flange actually taken out of the diff to then get the oil pump out. So some have it, some don't. If you haven't, well done, it's a lot easier, it saves a load of time. So yes, if you did enjoy this video, there's a couple more videos on the channel with this Evoque, there's another Evoque, there's plenty of videos on there for you to go and have a look at. This one, I'm now going to do a couple of bits and tricks to, mud flap, spoiler, refurbish the wheels, it just brings it back up to date really. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.